Hello, everyone. Welcome to Developing Palates. I'm Aaron Loomis, and with me, as always, is Jiunn Liu. How you doing, Jiunn?
Doing good.
So tonight we are talking about the Jenneff Family Blend. It's a perfecto size cigar, 5-inch by 50 ring gauge at its fullest point. Um, Comes out of the Jose Dominguez factory in Dominican Republic. The wrapper is Brazilian Maduro. Binder is Dominican Olor, and the filler is a mix of Cameroon, Dominican Republic, and Nicaragua. Blended by Jose Dominguez. Price point on the cigar is $6, and the cigar was released in July of 2016. So, June, what was your pre-light experience like with this cigar?
Um, Average experience. I thought this was a little bit on the ugly duckling side of the
Hmm.
presentation. Uh, so in terms of the actual wrapper, veiny, blotchy, medium brown wrapper, but it had a really nice, slick, oily feel to the cigar wrapper, which is always a welcome thing. Bunch of roll felt average. Had a couple of minor soft spots that I felt. That torpedo style head felt super rock hard, and I was thinking hopefully that doesn't, relate to a tight draw. In terms of the pre-light nosing experience and the cold draw, smelling the wrapper, I got charred wood, toasted nuts. Smelling the foot, white pepper and cedar. And when I did the cold draw, I mainly got a combination of dry nuts, hay, and a little bit of cedar going on.
Yeah, wrapper was medium brown, some darker marbling on the perfecto, a couple of visible veins. Seams were also visible kind of due to the color variations in the wrapper. They all look at home though. I mean, I'm not really sure how to explain that the torpedo head. It seemed like it was like just finished with like the slightest amount of wrapper that was just folded over. Like I didn't really see any caps. So whatever it is, it was well done. I mean, it made it look pretty nice. Single band, blue, gray, and white carries the company name on it. Aroma from the wrapper was a distinct barnyard. Even though the foot was small, though, I could still detect a little bit of graham cracker come out of that small foot. And the pre-light draw was a little mix of leather and hay there. So getting into flavor, what was your experience like?
Um, First third, I thought that the cigar was mainly centered around dark earthy tones, and in general, the cigar was centered around those kind of flavor spectrum, giving me toasted wood, black pepper, bread, and cardboard. Retrohaling, sharp black pepper and cedar. Finish pretty short with mainly a faintly charred wood and a subtle black pepper coming through. Body and strength, consistent medium. Moving on to second third, it's still very rustic and earthy in nature, but a noticeable change in the delivery of spice happens. That black pepper that I tasted in the first third picks up like this. It's almost like a semi-oily kind of a zinginess to it, this pop to it. Wood note, no longer a toasted kind of a delivery, more of a generic dry wood. Bread and cardboard falls on the background, being less noticeable. On the retro, still the same, giving me sharper notes of black pepper and cedar. And the finish, same black pepper zing in a mouth, as the mouth draws, as well as dry wood coming through. Strength and body still at the medium side. Moving on to the last third, pretty much mimics the second third in every way. Still giving me that semi-oily black pepper zing and dry wood. Retro still giving me that sharper black pepper and cedar. Finish continues with that black pepper zing and dry wood, and the strength and body finishing at the medium level. So overall, very earth wood, kind of a delivery.
Yeah, initial draws for me brought a mix of wood and cinnamon. Quarter inch in, the cinnamon mellowed some, but that still influenced the wood note that was, kind of carrying a bit of warmth to it. Retrohale kind of carried that same wood note, but with an even milder cinnamon in the background. 3/4 of an inch in, cinnamon goes away, replaced with a slight bit of cream, while that wood note remained up front. And as the third was coming to a close, that wood was still up front, while the cream note became very faint, and the strength was just slightly below medium. And then getting the second third, slight cocoa note joined in with that dominant wood profile. And then at a quarter inch in, some baking spices kind of push that cocoa note out of the profile. 3/4 of an inch in, some ashiness joined the profile of wood and baking spice. So kind of slightly reduced the enjoyment level there. Retrohale was carrying kind of like a dirty oak note. And as the third was coming into a close, that general wood note transitioned to oak, and that ashiness receded a little bit, and the strength was right at medium. Then getting in the final third, ashiness was just really present on the finish at that point. Primary note was still kind of a slightly dirty oak. And as the ring gauge was kind of beginning to taper down, that oak flavor was becoming a little bit more concentrated, which was nice. Retrohale, still a dirty oak, with that dirt note was being really pronounced at that point. 3/4 of an inch in, oak note very full, with a kind of the dirt note in the background and on the long finish. Ashiness had completely left that point, and then kind of that's how the cigar finished out, and the strength was just slightly above medium at that point. So getting into performance for burn and draw, what was your experience like?
I had a subpar burn and a good draw. So first of all, the burn, subpar for a couple of reasons. Cigar went out just randomly halfway through, and a couple of touch-ups were required due to the wrapper just refusing to burn the whole time that I smoked the cigar. But aside from that, ashes held on pretty tight, averaging inch increments. Cigar burned pretty cool the whole time, and I smoked it just for a very respectable 1 hour and 10 minutes. Perhaps it's important to know that we only got one cigar each for review, so I only had one cigar to review on this guy. So in terms of the draw, the hardness that I felt within the pre-light experience, it played a part in the draw, in the sense that it made it a little bit snug. Not a huge deal because I was like not 100% annoyed at it, but it was still one of those factors in which that I knew that I had to pay somewhat attention to it. So, but nonetheless, it was still good.
Yeah, for me, the burn was pretty sharp. There were some slight waves kind of where the transitions in the ring gauge were happening. But I kind of come to expect that with perfectos or cigars that have, ring gauge changes. Ash held on a one inch increments. That was pretty nice. In regards to the draw, it started out good. And then when the ring gauge kind of reached its fullest point, it started to tighten up a bit. I tried to do a couple more small cuts on the kind of on the torpedo head, but I wasn't getting any improvement that way. So kind of at the halfway mark, I used a draw tool, which helped significantly. There was something that was in there that I was able to kind of poke through it, and then things opened up a bit. And then as the ring gauge kind of began to drop again, things tightened up once again. So it was a bit of a journey in regards to the draw. So overall, what were your thoughts on the cigar?
I thought it was an average cigar. I thought that it had some good earthy tones, wood, and spice, but not much going on in terms of nuances and complexities. And for the most part, a shorter smoke such as this, I'm okay with that. It doesn't need to entertain me for that long, so I don't get easily bored with it, perhaps. And with more of a average cigar experience to good kind of a cigar experience, coupled by a really bad burn and good draw. Overall, it was a standard average cigar for me.
Yeah. The start with wood and cinnamon was really nice. Things kind of then settled into a primarily general wood note. In the middle, when the ashiness joined, it kind of brought things down a notch. But when that went away, things kind of improved once again. I think this is a pretty nice small and quick smoke. I enjoyed it. If I could dodge that ashiness in future samples, the score would bump up a little bit. I think this is probably easily approachable to most smokers. I definitely recommend that you grab one if you come across it, just to see if you like it. I'd smoke more of these. The price is pretty good at $6. Like you said, it's kind of an hour and 10-minute smoke. So low price, kind of quick smoke. It's not going to blow you away, but it's it's going to be something pretty solid as long as the construction kind of cooperates with you. So overall, not too bad of a cigar here. So getting the scores, you gave it a 5.07. I gave it a 5.80. How do you think that matches up with your experience?
It perfectly matches up. Average smoking experience coupled by overall average construction. It's right in line with an average cigar score, which is a 5 for us.
Yeah, mine matches up as well. I mean, kind of average flavor profile. I scored construction a bit higher than you, so that's kind of I think where the difference in our scores come. But otherwise, I think we were pretty much in line with our thoughts on it. Any other final thoughts from you?
I always think of something like Jenneff as a small. I mean, we're talking probably boutique of the boutique, one of these, right? And when I see the literature behind a cigar that says family blend, I kind of think in line with limited edition kind of a style.
Hmm.
And when you call it a family blend, which I expect is you don't hold back, right?
Right.
And you give me an average tasting cigar, it's a little bit left out, especially because I want to fight for those more mom and pop kind of shops. You know what I mean?
Right.
But hey, my unbiased opinion says it's average cigar. So
Yep.
hopefully on the next round, whatever they make, if they go to IPCPR, better hopes for that.
Yep. We'll definitely be looking for them. Well, thank you for tuning in. If you're just catching this on YouTube, be sure to subscribe to us, but also check out the full written review on the website, developingpalates.com. Be sure to follow us on all the social media channels, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Google+. You can also catch the review recaps on podcasts. They're available on iTunes, Google Play, and Podbean. Thank you for tuning in, and we will catch you on the next one.